Welcome everybody. First, just connect inward, always good, no matter what the subject is, because the subject is always one with different, like a cake, different toppings, but subject always one. It's called unity. It's called pure consciousness. So for that, we must be present. So let's just connect inward and just start to pay attention to how we breathe in and out. If you want, you can close your eyes. Observing the breath, how it moves inward, how it changes between in-breath and out-breath. Trying to recognize how much the body is available to receive the breath in the body. And see if you can, as you're breathing, if you can soften so more air will come naturally deeper and deeper towards the pelvic floor. So the subject of this meditation is creating reality. And when we talk about creating reality, we have to talk about nothing and something, which is the essence of creation. But talking about it is not as powerful as feeling it. So let's stay with the breath and see how the breath will lead us to understand the nature of creation, the nature of reality. Let's the breath teach us. Just observe how the breath moves in and moves out. Okay. So as you pay attention to the breathing, you can already notice that it has a certain pattern. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it, depends how it feels. Maybe you accept it, maybe you don't. But now what we're going to practice is to change awareness, to create different reality, and then we'll see that the breathing will change. So for example, let's acknowledge that the breath comes from infinity. Yes, so as if we're widening our consciousness above the head, let's say, and we visualize that when we inhale from infinity into the body. And just by visualizing something different, we can see that physically the breathing experience transforming. Try it, see how it feels. Okay, and now let's add another component to the image that we're holding, and then visualize that not only the breathing comes from above the head, from infinity, it comes from all over, like a reverse sun, as if we inhaling from the whole creation, the breath through our skin, through our head, through our feet, into the center of the body. And then when we exhale, we're giving it back to infinity from everywhere, like a super radiant sun. and see how that image changes the quality of the breath and the experience on all levels: emotional, psychological, energetical. Good. So we can see already that as we shifting awareness and images in our mind, creating realities, our physicality and our emotionality, everything changes. Let's take another example, and let's visualize that we're forming a circle among us. A round circle. We start to become aware that we are connecting into each other via our breathing, of course, via our awareness of our connection, and by visualizing love connecting us through the heart chakra in the circle. It's very important that now we're keeping our mind very clear with the image of that round circle that we are forming, those who participate in this meditation. If the image is clear for you, the power gets stronger and stronger. When we inhale, we're receiving power, love, light, strength from our friends. When we exhale, we're sharing the same quality in the circle. And like this, everything enhances and multiplies. Inhaling love and power and light from each other, exhaling, sharing. Let's stay with the circle and with the breath, but let's change now the image. And because we are ego bound and we always by default looking at everything through the ego, so we're experiencing things in one way. But now let's create a different reality. And let's say, instead of I am me, I am this circle. So I am the whole circle. Yeah, and let's continue with the breath, with the exchange, but we all the circle, not separate beads in the circle. We are the circle. I am the circle. Just say it in your mind and let's see what happens. Great. And now let's enlarge or modify a little bit the image. Again, we're all the time in creation, creating realities and experiencing it. So now we're still in the circle, but this circle transforms into a cathedral. So from our crown chakra, there is beautiful light radiating up, yeah, and creating a three-dimensional cathedral of light that connects us in a circle, but also in infinity. And the same down into the earth. And we are this cathedral, and this cathedral is alive and breathing and radiating. I am the cathedral. Let's see what happens. Wonderful. Now let's go back to basics. And the most basic, from where creation starts, in from the nothing. What we call in the energy reading classes, we call it the idle place or 0 point or nothingness. It's that place within us from which we seeing everything. The place that we say that it connects to the heart. You can say it's the clean mirror, that behind there is nothing, everything is in front. So let's try to connect within us to that place that everything else is reflecting on it or in it. But there is nothing beyond it, because this is the basic of everything. Okay, to achieve this place, to recognize this place, we just have to drop the mind into the heart and to try and stop this kind of mental movement while the mind is relaxing inside the heart. Then we're in the idle place, before creation, peace. Let's try to keep the mind this way. And once the mind is in the heart, let's also recognize that this experience is not limited to this physical form. It immediately puts us in a connection with creation, with all there is. This place, we can call it a substratum or pure consciousness. Before the mind creates movement, which creates realities. So when we're in this place of idle place, of pure consciousness, we can see very clearly that any mental movement will agitate the system like a wind that agitates the water to create waves. When the mind is still and is quiet in the heart, the ocean is crystal clear, like a lake that you can see all the way through into the bottom. When there is mental movement, start agitation and waves, and things start to move and swirl and creates shapes, creates forms. That's how creation manifests. The first creation in any mental movement always is I. This identity that the mental movement in the mind is me. And from there, all creation appears. And when the mind goes back into the heart, quietly to relax, then we are back in the idle place before everything. And that's really the true self which we are. And this is everything there is. So you can see very clearly, if you, what we say, bring an image of a person that you like or you don't like, your system will respond immediately. Then you relax this image and you go back to idle place, this creation of reality. If you think about food that you like to eat, your system will respond, and then you might physically go and eat it. But if you relax it back into the heart, this reality goes back into the ocean. Let's just relax and be quiet in the ocean of infinite consciousness and enjoy the peace from being the human. Now, how this relates to creating our life, to what happened to us during the day, to what happened to us in our life, things we like, things we don't like. So this is a complicated question because part of it relates to what we create from nothing to something, the images, the thoughts, the emotion that creates reality. But this also interacts with infinite other people and conditions that creates a reality that we're experiencing and interacting with. But there is no doubt that if our mind is still quiet in the heart, the reality that we'll experience is much more peaceful than if it's not like this. So let's just stay a bit longer in that peaceful place before creation happens. Just enjoy the peace which we are, which is available for us all the time. When the mind goes out of control and it creates realities very, very fast, many thoughts, many images, many emotions, and we're observing it, we say, whoa, this is really not comfortable. And we can always ask, who is thinking? Who am I? And then the mind will be forced to look back on its source. When we are in that point or zero place or infinite consciousness, the light and the power that we radiate is immense because we are one with creation. And the effect that we have on other people and on the vibration in creation, not only planet Earth, the whole creation is immense. When we are in this 0 point pure consciousness, we can use it so much for healing. We can direct areas of tension within us and allow them to synchronize with that pure consciousness which we are. And like this, the tension will resolve and that part will feel again in harmony with creation. So if you have still any tension within you, emotional tension, physical or mental tension, just offer it to infinity and invite this pure consciousness and the tension to harmonize. So it will be the same energy of peace. And as we started, but now we're so infinitely wide and spread, let's continue, or let's go back to pay attention to the breath. Because we created a sense of infinite existence, the breath is very, very different than the beginning. Pay attention. When you breathe in infinite consciousness, the whole creation breathes. So we have a big responsibility for our mental health, meaning that our mind is a creative machine. And when it's not relaxed and not directed in harmony and in the right way, what it creates can be unhealthy. So it's very, very important to be aware of that place of idle place or pure consciousness, and be aware of what kind of creation your mind is doing, and to be very clear if that's helpful or not. Beautiful. So thank you so much for joining, and have a most beautiful evening and a beautiful week. And yeah, we're here every morning, 7:30, every Sunday. And also we're teaching energy reading, energy coaching. Muchas gracias. Adiós.